All right, we are live. It is time. Spider-Man, the film franchise. Definitely one of those great movies, superhero films. I don't get enough. I don't talk about enough about this stuff, but I do have to say here and there is that when you're talking about superhero stuff, one of the things that do come into mind is a lot of things. A lot of characters pop into mind. You got DC, you got Marvel. Those are the two of the biggest comic book companies of all time. Then you get Dynamite Comics, which you don't hear much about them. But when it comes to Marvel characters, what is some of the first names that come into your mind? That come into the mind, right? Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, the Avengers. You name it. So we are going to talk about a little bit of the Spider-Man film franchise, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, all that good stuff. Which ones do I like? Which ones do I don't like? You name it. We're going to talk about some of it here. We don't know how long this live stream is going to go for tonight, but it is going to be very, very epic. And as for a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and move this tray right here. We're going to move it we're going to move it around. I'm going to put it in the back here. Get that kind of out of the way, so we have some room here, right? Yeah. So, Spider-Man. Where did it all start? 2002 Spider-Man film, the first one with Tobey Maguire. I was actually in high school at the time when this movie came out. I believe it was 2002. No, I actually graduated early from high school to get a head start on college. So the thing is, when you hear the song with this video short by Nickelback, Hero, I just love it. It brings me back to a time where, when I was, a teenager and stuff like that. So it's really one of those great things. A horror. Hope you're having a great time here. Good to see you as well. Great Halloween live stream you did with your friend at the pub the other night. That was a great one. I watched that. Just good fun stuff. So Spider-Man, which trilogy was the better? Well, you can't really count Andrew Garfield. He only had two films. He was supposed to have a trilogy. It was supposed to be, I guess, the Sinister Six, right? And I know there's a lot more better Spider-Man fanatics out there than I am. I'm a fan, not a hardcore Spider-Man fan, because I don't know the whole myth, the whole lore, and everything like that. I like the one with the Green Goblin. Yeah, that's the one with Tobey Maguire, the first one. William Dafoe plays that character. Yeah, he was great. I love his acting. I'll have to check out a couple more of his films. I know he was in Daybreakers, I believe. But going back with which films do I like? I grew up, like I said, I was born in the mid 80s. I was born in 84, so I grew up partially in the 80s. I've said it many times in my live streams. I grew up partially in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. And I grew up with the Tobey Maguire trilogy. It is my favorite. Nothing against Andrew Garfield. Boondock Saints, very good with him. Oh, I can imagine. I got to see that movie Streets of Fire with him and Diane Lane. That was from, I think, 84 as well. It was the year I was born. It might be a good one to have to check out sometime. So Maguire trilogy is they got everything spot. You get to Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's run Spider-Man, okay? Aunt May, Peter Parker's aunt, okay? You get Sally Field, who plays Aunt May in Andrew Garfield's run. Then you get the hottest Aunt May of all, which is Marissa Tomei for the Tom Holland. The only one that is comic book accurate to the Aunt May character is Rosemary Harris from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy. So that, to me, they got that right. I can never figure out why they went with younger versions of Aunt May with Garfield and Holland's Spider-Man. I don't understand why they did that, but I mean, it is what it is. I think Kristen Dunst was a great Mary Jane Parker, MJ. I thought she was really great. I like that whole dynamic with her and Tobey Maguire in the film. Spider-Man being the mystery, and she ends up finding out who Spider-Man really is. It's kind of sad when you get to Spider-Man 2, which is the one with Doc Ock, with Alfred Molina playing the character, Dr. Octavius. He was going to go to her place. He never shows up. He never makes it. I guess she's dating, God, what is his name's character? I guess she's dating, what's his name? J.K. Simmons' character, J. Jonah Jameson's son. She dates him. She was going to marry him, but then they don't get married and whatnot. When they become a superhero like that, I can see why Peter Parker was afraid to tell her. It's even going back with the very first film, when he's, trying to come up with a name for his character, he does all the sketches of his costume, and he's wanting to win $500 to impress MJ to get a car. He goes to this wrestling thing, WWE style wrestling. You have the late Macho Man Randy Savage, Randy Poffo as Bonesaw. That scene was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I used to be a diehard wrestling fan back in the day. I'll watch it here and there, but I'll tell you a little crazy story. I have enough of seeing the men wrestle. I like the women wrestling because it's their time. Women can do everything a man can do. That's what I believe in, and I'm all for women empowerment. That's just the way I am. But with the one thing I did not like about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film is Spider-Man 3. Venom didn't have the tongue. I think there was nothing wrong with Topher Grace playing Eddie Brock, but Eddie Brock is usually a bigger guy, right? We get a better incarnation of Venom in the Venom films with what's his name, Tom Hardy. So Tom Hardy was good, but he wasn't. He didn't really have the body structure, but he was believable. He was believable enough to be Eddie Brock Venom. So. Sandman played by Thomas Hayden Church. I thought he was great. I thought the character was great. The visual effects for that was really well done. But ultimately, you look at James Franco as Norman Osborn or Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn's son, the new Green Goblin in that. He was on vengeance against Spider-Man. He doesn't realize that, Spider-Man did not kill his father. His father ended up killing himself trying to go after Spider-Man. So that was that. Now, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films are more interesting because it's like a darker tone. What's that actor's name? He was in American Psycho. Christian Bale. It was more like a Christian Bale type fix on the Spider-Man character of Andrew Garfield. Darker. I love the costume color. It looked really cool. It's the traditional tongue twister. It was a traditional red and black, but there was something. It was very different. It was a very, very dark tone for the film itself. Everything about the film was dark. Even in the beginning, because I haven't seen the film in a while. I got it here on Vudu. I don't got the physical copy, but I got it on Vudu, right? I remember the first scene. It was young Peter growing up. His parents were going to fly somewhere. I think his parents got into a accident. They got killed. And that's when Aunt May and Uncle Ben raised to bring him up. This one there, it's the Lizard, Dr. O'Connor's. That was really cool. I like that. But when you get to Amazing Spider-Man 2, when you get Electro, played by Jamie Foxx, nothing against Jamie Foxx. I just thought the character of Electro, I don't know. I mean, there was something about him I didn't really care much for. But, when you get to the beginning of the film, they talked about having Rhino in the film, right? Rhino, the character. And the only thing I think, oh man, we're going to get Rhino. We're finally going to get Rhino. We're finally going to get Rhino, right? Well, we get him. He comes in, I believe, the beginning of the film and near the end of the movie when he's in a mechanical Rhino robotic, robot that he's in. And I'm like, this isn't Rhino. I think the Rhino character in Kraven the Hunter was way better, man, to be honest. But it was supposed to set up for a Amazing Spider-Man 3. And they were going to have the Sinister Six involved because there was like a teaser of that. And we never got that. Next time we get to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is in Spider-Man No Way Home, which was a damn good movie. That's when you had pretty much the multiverse stuff happening in the MCU. That was the start of it. We get to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland made his debut as Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. That was huge. It was epic. I was like, in my mind, when I saw him, right when Tony Stark says, on the roof, here comes Spider-Man on top of, I think it was either a car with Captain America's shield in his hands. And I was like, whoa, like that, I'm like, this is crazy. This is insane. Spider-Man finally in a MCU movie, man. When are we going to get the X-Men in an MCU movie? We got some of them, though, but wait until they come. I think they're supposed to come in after Avengers Secret Wars. But, yeah, it's the Tom Holland stuff. I like. He's too much like a teenager in those films. Zendaya, who plays MJ in that, it's not MJ as in Mary Jane Parker. I believe, if I remember correctly, when they were getting ready to film, when they were actually filming, I think it was Spider-Man Homecoming, that they did have an actress that was going to play Mary Jane Watson, but they filmed their scenes and they cut her scenes out of the movie, I guess. And I'm like, wow, that is a shame. So Zendaya is just MJ. It's not Mary Jane Watson. And then you get this character named Ned. Spider-Man is being his mentor is Tony Stark, Iron Man. And, I think that's a really cool idea. So Iron Man is basically training him and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, as good as Tom Holland is, he's a young kid. And I can't wait for the new movie to come out, too. This new one of his to come out, this new Spider-Man movie, because I'm a fan. But it's just a different take on Spider-Man. I mean, of course, I'm an adult. Spider-Man is just like a teen and stuff. And it's like, where do you go from here? I mean, you had Michael Keaton as Warren Toombs, the Vulture. And you go from that, you go from Mysterio, played by, I think, Jake Gyllenhaal. That was interesting. That one scene I like is like a mirror reflection scene. That looked pretty cool. I love the red and black suit that he gets in that film. It's really, really cool. It's really, really epic. So I would have to say, when you get to Spider-Man Far From Home, the one where all the old Spider-Man villains come together because of the multiverse is happening, it gets really, really insane. Really, really cool. You do get the return of William Dafoe as Green Goblin, which is epic. My only complaint about Green Goblin is that I wish he didn't have a bodysuit. I wish it was actually like he looked like a mutant, like what he was in the comics. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, But I think my besides Willem Dafoe returning for No Way Home, my other favorite would be Doc Ock, the return of Alfred Molina as the character, and then you get Jamie Foxx back as Electro, then you get the Lizard. I love the one suit that Spider-Man does get. It's all black. It's got like golden webbing on it. I forgot what they call that suit. It's really, really cool. To me, my favorite Spider-Man suit in these films, and I'm going to kid you not, it's not a part of the Spider-Man universe. Or yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It was in I'm trying to think which Spider-Man, which Tom Holland Spider-Man it was in. I think it was Spider-Man Far From Home. He did receive the Iron Spider costume. Remember the Iron Spider costume? He got that. He actually, I think, wore that in one of the Avengers films. So that was really, really, really cool there. To take on Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I mean, the kid, he's good. He's really, really good. But I just wish they would make him more of an adult than like a youngster out of high school. That's the only issue I have with his version of Peter Parker, and it's something against Tom Holland. But I understand where they're coming from with a lot of the stuff, because it starts out in high school. Because you go back all the way back to the Tobey Maguire first film, he's in high school when he gets bitten by that radioactive spider. They're on this field trip to this, I don't know what it is, some type of lab or something. See all these spiders, and you get Mary Jane Watson posing for him in photos, and she's doing all this crazy, goofy poses and stuff. And there's one photo she does like that, and really fun stuff. And then all of a sudden, the spider escapes out of an aquarium, lands on him, and then bites him, and then all of a sudden he becomes this, shooting out webs. Now the thing is with the web shooters, right? Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the webs come out of him. The Andrew Garfield and the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and this goes into the comics as well, they have to make their own web shooters. Now, which would you prefer? The webs that come out of you, out of your hands, or out of your wrists when they go like that, or actual web shooters where you make the webbing yourself? I like it where it actually comes out of you, because it's more realistic, because he doesn't have to run out of that stuff. He doesn't run out of the webs that way, which is really cool. Because if you have web shooters, you have to make the webs, right? So yeah, that's just about it. So I love the scene in the first film when he's running from rooftop to rooftop, or even before that when he's learning how to climb on walls, on buildings, and then he's go spider something, go spider this, go spider that, trying to shoot the webs out. And he does it, and he's running from rooftop to rooftop, right? And it's so epic, because when he finally gets his actual Spider-Man suit, man, does it look good visually. It does look good visually. Even the scene when it's like they're in downtown New York. And this is when Macy Gray, if you guys know who Macy Gray is, the singer, she's singing, and then it's right when Green Goblin is coming down. Willem Dafoe's character is coming down on the glider thing. The visual effects of all that showing Green Goblin come in that far distance was really, really well done, and that was in 2002. So, and then seeing Spider-Man portrayed, and you can tell a little bit when Spider-Man is going from flying in the air with swinging from his ropes. You can tell the CGI doesn't hold up that great. It does, but you can actually see that. I think some of it they had to use like a digital stunt man. But to me, it still sells. It still works to me. I don't really care what anybody thinks. Only if Disney buys it out. Ace, let's see here. You think we can see DC versus Marvel? I've heard of something about DC versus Marvel. It'd be a dream come true. Just thinking about it. If DC and Marvel made a movie, called DC versus Marvel. I guarantee you guys, and I don't like cussing. I guarantee you, for the sake of everything here, I guarantee you, if they make a Marvel versus DC movie, it will be the biggest comic book movie event of the century. It'll even outdo Avengers Endgame. I kid you not. I kid you not. I mean, imagine Superman on screen with Wolverine or the Hulk, Batman versus Black Widow. Now, I think Black Widow can kick Batman's ass. I really think so. She can. She was a trained assassin. She knows how to kill people. Batman doesn't, you know. I mean, I got a coworker of mine that at work, his only favorite superhero character is Batman. But I kid you not, I think Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, or Yelena Belova could take on Batman and beat the living heck out of him. I swear on it. I really do. I mean, that's true. I like Thor and Batman and Wonder Woman. Thor is really cool. The only thing I don't like about Thor, though, in the MCU, he doesn't have his helmet. He wore it for like 5 minutes in the first film. He had a moderation of it in Ragnarok, the movie. And then Love and Thunder, he had one with a mask that kind of symbolized the Lord of Thunder. But I'm going to show you something. Since we're speaking of Thor here, I got this. This is a 1/10 scale. And I love Thor, the comic book version of him. And this is my favorite look for him. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Supposed to be he's supposed to be in that pose from that comic book cover right there. Let's see if I can get that up there closely. Look at that. He's got the Mjolnir in the background. Yeah, he means business, guys. He means business. Oh, you want to see something else? I'll show you another thing. How many of you guys are Fantastic Four fans? I know I am. The Fantastic Four are the rock stars of the Marvel world. And I'm going to tell you right now. I'm getting hyped up, as you guys can see. This is another one. This is a smaller one. This is the Thing, Ben Graham. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Ring light in the way, but yeah, that's the Thing. I'm going to show you him up close. Yeah, that's the Thing. So I got him. She-Ra. Speaking of She-Ra, horror. I used to watch She-Ra back in the day, back in the 80s, back when they had it on along with He-Man, Masters of the Universe. So I really love stuff like that. And did you guys know that they are working on a new He-Man live-action movie? I think they are still filming it, I think. And I heard that Jared Leto is playing Skeletor. We got Alison Brie. Do you know who Alison Brie is? Alison Brie was Rebecca Walters in Scream 4. She was Sydney's publicist. So she's playing Evil Lynn, which I think is really cool. But yeah, so when that first trailer comes out, I'm hoping the first trailer of Masters of the Universe, when that comes out, the first trailer for that, I'm hoping I'm going to be jaw dropped and impressed. Nothing against Dolph Lundgren and Meg Foster in the 80s version of it. That was all right, but I think this new version is going to be way better. It should just thinking about it. Yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff in here, man. I got the Halloween Resurrection NECA that just arrived. I believe it was yesterday, as you guys can see right there. I did a video on that earlier. So I got some autographs. One of my favorite female wrestlers up there, Mina Shirakawa, doing a pose. Right next to my Freddy versus Jason hockey mask. And my Anna Jay autograph, that's another wrestler. Her and Mina are in AEW. I don't watch wrestling all that much. I watch like highlights of it on YouTube. So that's pretty much it. Am I hyped up about the Avengers Doomsday trailer that's been rumored to be coming out next month in December here. I am so hyped up. Oh, you're welcome. I like sharing stuff like that. The Hulk, also the Punisher is my favorite. Yeah, the Hulk is great. I love the Hulk. Silver Surfer's a good one too. I love him as well, or she, because we have a female version of Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four First Steps, which is really cool. I still got to own that movie though too as well. But now, as for X-Men wise, who would I love to see? Who would I love to see as Rogue, as in the X-Men when they do the X-Men movie for the MCU here? There was the ideas of people saying, rumors, people saying that Alexandra Daddario, that's right, Alexandra Daddario from Texas Chainsaw 3D will be a good fit. She would be. She's got the look. She's got the eyes. I think she would be my number one. Anna Paquin, that was in the Fox X-Men films, was great. A lot of people did not like Rogue in the Fox X-Men movies. I'm going to tell you why. She didn't have the ability to fly. She didn't have the superhuman strength. And the reason why it was, she got those powers from Ms. Marvel. And Fox didn't have the rights to Ms. Marvel. The only ability that Rogue actually had was her ability to steal mutants' powers. She makes skin-to-skin contact, okay? When I was a kid, I loved to see the Hulk and Punisher, also Captain America. Did you remember the Hulk TV show with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby back in the 70s? I saw reruns of that. Pretty good. Then they made, I think, 3 TV movies. Do you remember the trial of the Incredible Hulk, which had Daredevil? I've never seen that. But the one I've always remembered was The Incredible Hulk Returns, where it's Incredible Hulk and Thor, who at the time it was Eric Alan Kramer who played Thor. A different incarnation of Thor, because Thor didn't fly at all, but they did what they could with that. I mean, I thought Eric Alan Kramer was a great fit for Thor in that. And then he had the death of the Incredible Hulk, which was at the time Bill Bixby was dying, I believe, from cancer while he was filming that. So that's why they decided to end that run. Yeah, you were a teenager. Yeah, I forgot you're old. Yeah, you're older than me. That's why. Great stuff, man. I mean, you guys had some good stuff back in the 70s. Charlie's Angels, all that stuff, man. I mean, some great stuff. Jocelyn Smith, Kate Jackson, Barry Fawcett, all that. I remember seeing reruns. Yeah, going back to the Avengers Doomsday, we're supposed to get the first Avengers Doomsday trailer next month in December. So I'm excited about that. I'm still in shock that we got Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is by far my favorite Marvel villain of all time. I'm really excited to see what they do with him. We did get a glimpse of him in one of the ending scenes in Fantastic Four First Steps. So it's gonna be really interesting what they're gonna do with that character. Hopefully he has the mask on for the majority of the film. I don't know who's playing him. RDJ. Captain America is awesome. Yeah. Chris Evans was great. My favorite Captain America film to this day is still Captain America, the First Avenger. That is still my favorite one. I think the other one would have to be Winter Soldier. A lot of people had mixed reviews with Anthony Mackie playing Captain America in Brave New World, but I loved his performance. I thought he was a good fit. In the comics, it should have been Bucky to take up on the mantle because Captain America does get killed in the Avengers Civil War or the Civil War storyline in the comics. Not the movie version of it, because the movie version, Captain America does not die in that. So a lot of people are kind of angry and pissed because, it should have been Bucky to take up the mantle, not Sam Wilson. I mean, who cares? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's Hollywood. They're going to do stuff different, you know. I have no problem with Anthony Mackie playing Captain America. I thought he was really cool, you know, getting to see the Red Hulk. You know, of course, we didn't get the original actor to play General Ross. We got the legendary Harrison Ford, guys. That was really cool. Aquaman. Aquaman was good. I mean, Jason Momoa. I still can't get that in my head. Right when it happened in Justice League, the movie. I think it was either when Superman picks him up or something, or Batman picks him up because Batman had to. Either Superman picks Aquaman up when they're having that battle with Steppenwolf, and Aquaman's like, "My man, my man." If I ever met Jason Momoa, I'd get an autograph from. If I ever met Jason Momoa, I would like to have him sign an 8x10 of him as Aquaman and put that quote, "My man," like that. That'd be cool. Scooby-Doo, definitely some good stuff. I love the cartoons. I grew up on that stuff. I don't know horror of horror. Were you born in the 80s just like me? Because I remember growing up as a kid watching She-Ra, He-Man, the old Scooby-Doo stuff. Oh gosh, what was the one where they had them where they were all the Hanna-Barbera characters were all in a racing event, but it was actually a cartoon series where they would all race. You had Jabberjaw the shark, you had the Josie and the Pussycats and stuff like that. Just very, very fun stuff. I mean, I'm so glad to be have grown up in that era to experience like the reruns of those shows, because a lot of these kids today, they don't know what the fun stuff was, but it is what it is. Yes, Huckleberry Hound and Yogi. Yeah, that's right. I remember them now since you brought them up. Huckleberry Hound and Yogi brings back a lot of memories. Man, I'm gonna have to look that show up and just watch it here on YouTube. They got episodes. I love those years. Yeah, they're long gone, but man, you can remember a lot of them. There's times too, right? Whether I'm in bed or I'm sitting here playing a game or prepping up for my videos, just thinking about the past stuff, like what I used to watch when I was growing up as a kid, the real Ghostbusters, the 90s X-Men show that was on Fox Family Morning Kids. Every Saturday morning, I'd get up, I'd watch that. Even the Spider-Man animated cartoons they had on Fox too. You had a lot of great stuff. You're a year older than I am. I was born in 84. Wow, man, nice to know someone that's in my that's a year older than me. That's really, really cool. I really really like that. Raccoons was 1985. I don't remember that show. Do you guys remember that show? It was called Hong Kong Phooey, the Kung Fu Dog. I remember when they put his shows on, I think it was either Friday nights or Saturday nights on Cartoon Network, when Cartoon Network was first came on cable television. I'll never forget those days. And we had the Super Friends, all that stuff, man. The Jetsons, the Flintstones. We're the Flintstones. Yeah, but do have a gay old time. I'll never forget all that stuff, man. That was some great stuff. Even seeing the movie with John Goodman and Elizabeth Perkins and Rosie O'Donnell and Rick Moranis, and seeing John Goodman say "Yabba Dabba Doo." Yeah, that was really funny. He was hilarious. Good old John Goodman, man. You can't go wrong with him. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what other cartoon was out there that I grew up on. Does anybody remember Denver the Last Dinosaur? I only remember it very, very vaguely. That was a pretty cool show. Then we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. And then what's another one? A pup named Scooby-Doo. Remember that one? When Fred kept saying red herring was the red herring of it all. Do you guys remember I'm getting off kind of topic here with this one. Do you two remember the movie that came out with Julie Andrews? Love that one. And I also love the one with Emily Blunt too. That was a good one. I actually saw the Emily Blunt one in theater on Christmas Day when it came out. That was really fun. You're 55, Ace. Wow. I mean, you're still young yet. And you're still young. I'll tell you one thing here. I'll tell you one thing. One of my friends just had her birthday. She just turned 50. She works with me. She works with me at work. She's a nurse. So I'm going to say this to you, and I would tell her the same thing. You're never old until you think you are. That is the truth. You're never old until you think you are, because it's scary thinking it's scary thinking, oh, we're getting older. Eventually we're all going to have health problems. It's scary, but it happens. It's life. I mean, there's nothing we can do about any of that. But I go to the gym regular basis. I try to watch what I eat. And like tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, go to the gym, do a full body workout, arms, legs, weights, all that stuff. That's what I'm doing. And by the time I get out of there the next day, my arms will be sore because I do like the cross bodies, leg weights, treadmill, I do stair climbers. I do all that. I go for like 3 to 4 days a week, just to keep up with myself. Sometimes, like last Sunday, I went out running, right? So I went out running on a trail, and there's 2 trails. They're all connected together, and I've done the whole big trail, which is like almost 3 miles. Very, very good exercise. Both can be my son and daughter. Yeah, we can both. Yeah, we definitely can be that for sure. Some days I feel old. Yeah, I mean, I was at work the other day, and we had a new coworker. We have a new worker that started. He graduated high school. He graduated from the same high school I did, but he graduated in 2023. And I told him I graduated in 2002. So my coworker, who was born in 78, when I told that kid that I graduated in 2002 from high school, he says, "Man, you're getting old, man." I says, "Hey, you're never old until you feel like you're old." And with me growing older, even though I'm starting to get some gray hair on me, I've noticed I don't feel old. I think it's because I'm in good shape and I keep going strong. I mean, that's what I do. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't bash people because they drink. I can handle the drunks, but as long as they're funny when they're drunk. But if they're mean, ignorant, want to start fights when they're drinking, then I have an issue with that. I don't like that stuff. But I like when people drink socially and they're respectful and they like to chat with people. That's the type of people I like to be around when they do drink, because it's more relaxing environment. But another thing too is I grew up with music, right? I remember growing up, I had an older brother who was into hard rock music, right? One of my favorite singers of all time, or my favorite rockers of all time, is Alice Cooper. Okay. So you graduated in 2002. You graduated the same year I did. Jeez, man. That is really cool. We graduated the same year. Now I started out, Alice Cooper being my favorite because I was introduced to Metallica, Megadeth, Ozzy Osbourne. Of course, I know he passed away, a couple months back. Great musician, by the way. Anyway, man, I mean, great stuff. I mean, a lot of the songs. I love the song "Crazy Train." The other song he did was "Bark on the Moon." That was another good one of mine, another favorite of mine. And then "No More Tears" was another great one that I liked of his. I did not know an older daughter either. Of course, she wasn't, revealed until like after he had died. She looked pretty good, to me. I mean, to me, it's what's in the heart that counts. Because I got this one friend of mine who goes to these comic conventions. I met him through another friend, right? And this dude wants the supermodel type women to date. And I'm thinking, okay, dude, the more you think like that, the less you're going to find somebody. To me, it doesn't matter what the woman looks like. As long as she's got a good heart and stuff like that, it don't matter. I mean, hell, I'll date someone that's, 10 years older than me. It don't matter. As long as we get along great and stuff like that, that's all that counts, But Yeah. So what else we got here? I'm not young enough to be. That's funny. That is really funny. If you graduated in '87, hey, that was the year. I think 1987 was the year Monster Squad came out. I actually watched that earlier today. I was uh, watching that with my mom. Mom never seen it, so I introduced her to the film, and she just loved the film. Uh, Duncan Rager is my second favorite Dracula actor. I know I made a Dracula, my top 3 Dracula actors of all time, and I put Duncan Rager as my third favorite. Then I had for my second was Gerard Butler from Dracula 2000, and my number 1 favorite all time is Richard Roxbury from Van Helsing. So I switched. I'm going to switch my order up now. So it's Gerard Butler as my number 3, Duncan Rager as my number 2. I've seen it for the third time, a Monster Squad for the third time, and then Richard Roxbury from Van Helsing. Those are my top 3 favorite Dracula actors of all time. I think they're great. I think Richard Roxbury reminds me a lot of Bela Lugosi in a lot of ways. Even though it's 2 different styles. You know, Bela Lugosi was in 1931. Richard Roxbury was in 2004. That's when Van Helsing came out. But some great stuff there with him. He had the accent. He had it all down and everything. Of course, Richard Roxbury met his wife on the set of Van Helsing because she was one of the brides. She was the bride with the long black hair. I thought that was really cool that he met his actual wife on the set of Van Helsing, which was pretty cool. And you can't go wrong with Kate Beckinsale and Hugh Jackman, though. Great stuff, man. Kate Beckinsale, Selene from the Underworld franchise, and Hugh Jackman, hey, bub, Wolverine from the X-Men Fox Universe, epic team up right there. That was the dream team in 2004, man. I saw that movie in theater, and it was epic. It was off the charts. The theater was packed. It was crazy. It was nutty, as it was, because we got 3 theaters. We got 2 in the town where I'm living at, and in the next town where we got another theater. Before that, if you had one film like, say, Van Helsing was playing at just 1 theater, not all 3 theaters. Today, all 3 theaters are playing one of the big movies. So you don't get that jam-packed of the house feel with crowds at a theater anymore down here where I'm at. But I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we did not get a classic horror film for October. But it is what it is, man. I mean, I get to see the 50th anniversary of Texas Chainsaw down the road from me because we got a theater that called the Paramount. Me and my buddy went to it. It was around like a 10 o'clock showing. It was epic. It was the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then a couple years before that, it was the original Scream from 1996, which was really cool to see that one as well. So, yeah. What is your guys' take on Ghost Rider? I mean, which one did you like? There was 2 Ghost Rider films of Nicolas Cage. There was the one of him and Eva Mendes, the first one, where he goes after Blackheart, and then there's a second one called The Spirit of Vengeance. I like the first one, the very first one with Eva Mendes in it. I thought that was a really more of a cooler one to me. I mean, Ghost Rider looked both visually awesome in both films, but I still like the first one over it all. But I mean, that's just me. Morbius the Vampire, when I saw that one with Jared Leto, oh, that was terrible. That was a terrible film. I wouldn't recommend anybody seeing that. They're supposed to be making a Doctor Strange 3. I love the first 2 films, especially the second one, in the Multiverse of Madness. I believe that's what it was called. And I actually got it here. Let me see. And I got the 4K Steelbook of it, so I'm going to try to find it. Right here, we got it. Dr. Stephen Strange. I love Elizabeth Olsen in this. Scarlet Witch. So there we are. I don't know what's on there. We got the 4K of it. Hold on. I watch more of my movies on Fandango digitally. But my favorite superhero movie of all time, guys, I got this. This is X-Men right here, the first one from 2000. This is actually my copy that my mom and stepfather got me for Christmas back in 2000. Can you believe that? It still does work. And then I got the upgraded version of it when it came out on Blu-ray. I'm still waiting for it to come out in 4K. I don't know if they released this one on 4K, but I'm still waiting for it to come out on 4K. But yeah, that's my all-time favorite superhero movie of all time still to this day. But my favorite MCU movie, that's a good question because I would probably say Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is my favorite one so far. But yeah, that's just about it with those. What is your favorite? Who are some of your favorite superheroes? Since we were talking about Spider-Man earlier, what are some of your guys' favorite superheroes besides like Punisher, Hulk, Thor? Like, I got a great one. I got a great one here. Which movie haven't you seen? The first X-Men film? Yeah, Doctor Strange is the best one. I love it. Very, 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 very good with the visual effects. Very, very good with Elizabeth Olsen. I think it's Elizabeth Olsen's best performance as Scarlet Witch of all time. I think. I love her costume. I love the little, like, I think it's like the headpiece that she has on. Just great stuff. Great stuff. I mean, she does do conventions. I know I know some of these conventions, like some of these autograph places online, they'll do like autograph pre-orders and stuff. And her autograph is very expensive. It's in the triple digits. So like I've seen like $110, $120 for her autograph. I would love to get somebody from the MCU an autograph from one of them, man, but it'd be very expensive. Favorite superhero team. We're talking about from Marvel. Who would you guys rather have? The Avengers, X-Men, or the Fantastic Four? Those are your three options right there. X-Men, Avengers, or Fantastic Four? Who would you rather have? I would probably say my favorite. You know, I'm not, as much as I love the very first X-Men film, I would still have to say the Fantastic Four. I love their movies weren't really that great, except for the newest one. The newest one, I think, is the best one. But for movie-wise, as a franchise, I think the Avengers are the best. The X-Men, the first three in the franchise was great. A lot of people did not like X-Men: The Last Stand, which I do have on DVD, and I am going to show it to you guys right here. I remember seeing this opening night in theater back in, I think it was 2006. Very, very disappointing. If you guys have not seen it, they do kill some of the characters off. I didn't like what they did to Cyclops in the film. But when you get to X-Men Days of Future Past, it erases the events of this film here. And Jean Grey is alive. Professor X is alive, all that. So great stuff. I did not like what they did with Rogue, though, but hey, it is what it is. But the highlight of this film is Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer as Beast. That is the highlight of this entire film for me. Kidding not. So you look at that and it's like, man, oh man, oh man. I got some DC stuff. I got some animated stuff over here. Harley Quinn. Batman Bad Blood. Okay, let's see what else we got down here. We got, hold on, let me get some of the stuff out of here, guys. We got some Justice League stuff. Great stuff there. We guys like Teen Titans? We actually got both versions of Teen Titans down here somewhere. Trying to figure out. Oh, yeah, I got Justice League. This is a good one. That's a good one right there. Justice League War. Teen Titans. I got the other one, Justice League versus Teen Titans, but this is the Judas Contract, okay? So I'm trying to figure out where the hell I put that at. Where in the hell? What do you guys think of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? What do you guys think of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? Which one? First X-Men was good. Oh, I agree. I love it. It's my favorite one. What do you guys think of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? Because I got a surprise for you. And I own all 3 movies, too. David Ayers, Suicide Squad. Birds of Prey. And then my favorite performance that she's ever done as Harley Quinn is in this film right here. The James Gunn Suicide Squad. Good stuff too, man. Wonder Woman. Since you're speaking of Wonder Woman, I got a real treat here, and I wish James Gunn would have allowed Patty Jenkins to do her Wonder Woman 3, but that SOB didn't allow that to happen, which it was a shame. But here we are. Wonder Woman. Trying to get used to the cameras here. 84 or no? Yeah, these camera angles are weird because, you know, I'm looking at this hand and the one with this right here, the one with 84 is lifting up. So, the first one, 84, good stuff. Doctor Strange is amazing, yeah. Now, which one do I like the best between these two? Of course, it's going to be the first one, the one right here. It's the best. It's the best one. Gal Gadot knocked it out of the ballpark. And I do got something. Shoot, I can't really show it. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna pull it out. It's in the back here. I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit, guys. You might be in a real treat here. You got to be very, very careful though. Look at that. From 1984, Wonder Woman, cardboard standee, Gal Gadot. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So, just some really, really, really cool stuff there. So I got all that there. And I got like a media shelf right over here on this side. That's where I'm pulling all the movies from. Yeah, I like the Powers. My favorite X-Men, my favorite female X-Men are Storm and Rogue. Those are my 2 favorites of all time. I love Jean Grey as well. Jean Grey is another one. Psylocke is another favorite one. As you can see right here, I'll tell you, I got a Psylocke art print. I'll take it off the wall here. This is really cool. Let's see if I can get that up. Look at that Psylocke. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I got Psylocke up there. I could have had the Enchantress from the Thor universe, but I decided not to get that one. Wanted to get Psylocke. I think Psylocke is a pretty cool character. Wonder Woman is a great character. What about Zatanna? Do you guys know who Zatanna is? That's another great character right there, guys. That's another great character. She has the top hat with the tailcoat jacket, with the high heels on, with the fishnetting stockings. Really great character. The full name for that character is Zatanna Zatara. Great stuff. I love Supergirl as well. Supergirl is another favorite of mine, too. I can't wait for the new movie. We haven't had a Supergirl movie since 1984 with Helen Slater. I love the Melissa Benoist version of the character which I already got a mess going on here, pulling out movies and stuff. But hey, that's okay. I'll be picking this stuff up after this live stream. But I do got some stuff here. I don't got all the seasons, but I remember that back in the day on the CW. It originally aired on CBS. CBS wasn't going to pick it up after season 1, so CW picked it up, and thank goodness they did it. Because right now, this is actually my favorite version of Supergirl. Of course, with Helen Slater was supposed to have another movie, but her first movie didn't do too well. Hulk, awesome too. What about? I'm trying to think of a character that doesn't get much recognition. Let's see here. What about? Oh. Rogue. We got Rogue. We got my Wonder Womans. Pretty cool stuff. All right, let's put them back up here, making sure they don't fall off, you know. Did you guys want to see some autographs? I got a real cool one. This means a lot to me, this one right here. I'm going to show you. This is not superhero. This is a horror movie autograph that I got. Signed by director Joe Dante, Dee Wallace, and Belinda Belatsky, who played Terry in the film. Great stuff. The only thing I need is Robert Picardo, who played Eddie Quist. But great, great, great stuff. So that's some really good stuff right there. Horror stuff, yeah. You want to see something really cool? You ain't seen nothing yet. It's from the same franchise. Look at that. The werewolf's in there. So we're going to open him up right here, the flap up, okay? Look at the size of that guy. Very, very cool stuff. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I put all this stuff up, and I just keep going. Now I do some comic conventions. I do some of those as well. Not too many. And when I go to these comic conventions, I only meet one celebrity. So the celebrity that I usually meet is somebody that I know from a film or something, right? So I'm hoping one day to meet somebody from maybe the MCU universe. I know it's going to be a lot of money, but who cares? If it's just one person you want to meet, there you are. There are some people that go to these conventions that the reason why they're going to this convention because this celebrity they've loved for years is there. So with Days of the Dead coming up, and now we're off the topic of superheroes, and that's okay too. But this is just a general chat for Days of the Dead. I'm hoping to meet on November 21st in Chicago. Heather Langenkamp, Kelly Hu was Lady Deathstrike in X-Men 2, and she was in Friday Part 8. Marilyn Poucher from Friday Part 3. She was Mrs. Voorhees that came out and drugged Chris into the water. And then Tim Mirkovich, young Jason from Part 8. And that's, so far that's all I'm going to meet. But, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're almost at, we're going to go, it's 59 minutes. We're going to go for an hour here. What else would you guys want to know? I mean, what else would you guys want to know? I mean, I would love to do a live stream of Bat Ricken and stuff. I mentioned it to him already. It'd be really cool to do a live stream with him. Of course, I would have to do it on my phone with the live stream because we tried it one time with somebody, and for some reason, my laptop can't pick up the link to go into because it would freeze up for some reason. But yeah, I mean, but with further ado, guys, it's all I got. It's been great doing this live stream tonight. I really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Saturdays is when I can do a long stream like this, chat away. I mean, I can do game streams too on the weekend since those are my regular days off. But yeah, with further ado, guys, that's all I got. Great talking with everybody. Great to have some viewers here, some people in the chat. If you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you do. Subscribe, and see you guys back here later in the next